Baik, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mari kita lanjutkan perkuliahan kita. Oke, topik perkuliahan kali ini adalah HRM in the host country context. Materi ini saya dapatkan dari internet dengan sumbernya adalah sebagai berikut. Oke, chapter objectives. Discussion of international HRM issues generally tends to be biased in the direction of expatriate management, particularly that of parent country nationals, partly owing to their strategic importance. In this chapter, we attempt to redress the balance by examining IHRM, International Human Resource Management issues in subsidiary operations, to balance the need for consistency and the need for adaptation. We cover the following aspects, factors that influence standardization and adaptation of work practices and the role of HR, including host country culture and workplace environment, mode of operation, firm size, maturity, and international experience, and subsidiary mandate. Kemudian ada juga retaining, developing, and retrenching local staff. Kemudian ada HR implications of language standardization, HCN selection, training, and promotion on the basis of language skills. Monitoring HR practices used by foreign subcontractors. Okay, subsidiary issues. Approach to subsidiary management is a function of the nature of the relationship between the units and parent. Contohnya long or short term. Kemudian the role of the subsidiary in the broader context. Kemudian the level of equity involved. Contohnya mode of operation. Factors within host country environments that facilitate or constrain the transfer of global management practices and business processes. Contohnya adalah government regulations dan social norms. Okay. 3 cultures interact to influence standardization and adaptation. Ada national culture of the parent company. Kemudian national culture of the subsidiary unit. Kemudian corporate culture as a potential unifier. Standardization can be achieved through poin-poinnya staffing procedure and standards, kemudian training and development programs, kemudian staff rotation, kemudian rewards and promotion, kemudian corporate code of conduct. Standardization of work practices. Ini bergantung pada receptivity of local workforce to adhere to corporate norms of behavior, kemudian effectiveness of expatriates as agents of socialization, kemudian whether localization is timely, not just propped by cost considerations. Kemudian ada point appropriateness to the local environment. Ini faktor-faktor yang mempengaruhi standardization Mas dan Mbak, standarisasi. Ada host country culture and workplace environment, ada mode of operation involved, kemudian ada size and maturity of the firm, kemudian relative importance of the subsidiary. Masuk ke pembahasan terkait dengan host country culture. Work behavior is culturally determined, contained in role definition and expectations. Kemudian, whether corporate culture would supersede or supplant other cultures is a subject of much debate. Often, what is meant by corporate culture translates into universal work practices, standardization of work practices. Common practices rather than common values. Oke, ini adalah hubungannya antara budaya dan perilaku. Ya, ini ada lingkaran home atau host culture, kemudian ada lingkaran values, nilai-nilai. Kemudian ada lingkaran corporate culture gitu ya, budaya perusahaan. Kemudian ada attitudes, sikap-sikap. Kemudian ini kotaknya ada standardization of work behavior, ada placement, ada procedures, ada processes. Kemudian ada di bagian bawah HR practices. Seperti itu ya Mas dan Mbak ya. Oke. Mode of operation. Choice of mode of operation is important in determining standardization of work practices. Ownership and control are important factors. Acquisition may constrain ability to transfer technical knowledge, management know-how, systems, and HR practices. Wholly owned subsidiaries provide greater opportunities for transferring work practices than in IGV. Management contracts provide skills, expertise, and training to HCNs without carrying equity or risk associated with FDI and may have HC government support. Oke, ini faktor-faktor yang mempengaruhi standarisasi dari praktek-praktek kerja gitu ya Mas dan Mbak ya. Jadi yang kotak tengah ini MNE or local work practices, behavior, and HRM ya Mas dan Mbak sekalian. Nah, ini lingkaran-lingkaran di luarnya ada corporate culture, ada firm size and maturity, kemudian ada subsidiary mandate, kemudian ada mode of operation, kemudian ada host, culture, and work environment ya Mas dan Mbak. Oke, masuk ke standarisasi kerja ya, work standardization. The size of the firm, maturity, and international experience are important from level factors. Motorola, ya HP ya Mas dan Mbak ya, perusahaan HP. In China is a case in point. Ya, large size, wealth of international experience, centralized IHR programs. Management could draw on these aspects when entering China. Okay, subsidiary mandate. The position a subsidiary holds within the global family is an important aspect when discussing the transfer of work practices. Yeah. General Electric's Center of Excellence in Hungary. Transferring knowledge and competence is difficult as subsidiary initiatives are often not seen as relevant due to corporate immune system. Subsidiaries' roles and positions alter over time. Staff movements can assist. Face-to-face communication helps build trust and networks. Kemudian project teams as a control and socializing mechanism. Oke, masuk ke global or local work practices. Not a case of either or, but more of a constraint for both. While the recruiting practices used in different countries are inching toward global convergence, national cultures continue to affect the hiring practices. The best IHRM practices ought to be the ones best adapted to cultural and national differences. Yeah, more Western HR practices being introduced to China. Japanese firms such as Nissan and Honda train HCNs in United States, United Kingdom, and other European subsidiaries. Movements in France against capitalist cultural invasion. Retaining local staff. Yeah, the paradox, the expense of cheap labor. Poaching of key subsidiary staff. Access to skilled labor as important as unit costs, such as corporate outsourcing. Attraction of India and China for the IT industries. The amount and quality of training is an important consideration. Ya, poin-poinnya ada technical, ada language, ada decision making, ada manajemen ya. Manajemen ya, Mas dan Mbak sekalian. Oke, developing staff. Ya, ini investing in human capital. Providing training and career development can assist in retaining good local staff. Kemudian improve benefits, work and living conditions, and fair management practices are important factors. Yeah, a fair environment and good management practices play an important role in countries such as China. Job hopping behavior in Singapore, Russia, and China. Oke, ini retrenching staff. The reverse of the employment coin. Strategic decisions regarding foreign operations have HR implications, including retrenchment. Not confined to subsidiary operations, but many affect home base. Contohnya adalah transferring call centers from UK and US to India. Labor law may constrain retrenchment. Contohnya adalah India dan Germany. Oke, language standardisasi bahasa gitu ya, Mas dan Mbak. Adopting a common corporate language puts pressure on employees to become competent in the corporate language. Assists informal communication and network building. Ya, affects promotion, ability to attend corporate programs and meetings, kemudian availability for international assignments. Jadi memang berpengaruh gitu ya, penguasaan bahasa ya, Mas dan Mbak ya. Ya, ini tidak hanya di dunia usaha gitu ya, di kehidupan sehari-hari. Misalnya nanti Mas dan Mbak berkesempatan untuk hidup di luar negeri gitu ya, amin, akan lebih gampang untuk berbaur, beradaptasi, dan juga bersosialisasi dengan orang-orang lokal jika Mas dan Mbak bisa dan fluent gitu ya, lancar dalam menggunakan bahasa setempat. Misalnya kalau hidup di Jepang ya, Mas dan Mbak kalau lancar bahasa Jepangnya gitu ya, amin, akan lebih mudah bergaul, bersosialisasi, dan juga bermasyarakat. Tentunya tentunya lebih mudah hidup juga di Jepang. Seperti itu Mas dan Mbak. Oke, HR implications of language standardization. Ya, ada new and existing employees, kemudian company language competence, with kalau with mengarah ke enhanced training options, international assignments, kemudian career progression. Kalau without, tanpa, maka ada dua arah gitu ya. Acquire company language, ya kalau ini masuk ke sini berarti akan masuk ke sini ya Mas dan Mbak ya. Pilihan lainnya atau tujuan lain, bukan tujuan lain, mohon maaf, arah yang lain adalah never acquire, ya stay lokal gitu ya. Ya khawatirnya kalau di sini tidak berkembang ya, tidak bisa berkembang pesat gitu ya Mas dan Mbak ya. Oke, ini shadow structure of KONE based on language. Ya, silakan dibaca sendiri oleh Mas dan Mbak slide ini. Oke, monitoring host country subcontractors. Outsourcing activities to host country subcontracting firms requires some monitoring of HR practices. Further contracting is likely to occur. Focal groups have accused multinationals of condoning work practices that would not be permitted in their home countries, regarding child labor, minimum pay, work hours, work conditions, and safety. Kemudian ada environmental issues. Seperti itu ya Mas dan Mbak sekalian. Ini HR's role. Ya, poin-poinnya: drawing up and reviewing code of conduct. Kemudian conducting a cost benefit analysis to justify an expatriate as a monitor. Kemudian championing local operators as monitors. Kemudian being a member of the team who conducts periodic checking visits. Kemudian overseeing external monitors and auditors where used. Kemudian checking that rewards and performance systems take into consideration compliance to code of conduct. Kemudian being knowledgeable about and sensitive to local law and regulations. Oke, masuk ke chapter summary, kesimpulan dari chapter ya, Mas dan Mbak. This chapter has focused on issues relating to HRM, and work practices in the host country context. We chose 4 main areas to examine. Ya, ada the standardization versus adaptation debate. Saya ulangi, the standardization versus adaptation debate as it relates to subsidiary operations. We identified 4 interrelated factors that influence the multinational's ability to impose or transfer its preferred work and HR practices. Yeah, the host country culture and workplace environment. We look at the interplay between values, attitudes, and work behavior, and the role of corporate culture in assisting work outcomes. Mohon maaf. Kemudian mode of operation. Managerial discretion to introduce its own practices is higher in wholly owned subsidiary operations than in IJVs. Acquisitions may be constrained by the inherited workforce. We also look at management contracts as a mode of operation that may influence standardization of work practices in foreign operations. Firm size, maturity, and level of international experience. Firms such as Motorola can draw upon experience and resources to an extent not possible for smaller and less experienced international players. Subsidiary mandate. The position of the subsidiary in the intra-organizational network and level of interdependence between units for resources can assist in the transfer of best practice. Retaining, developing, and retrenching local staff aspects. Saya ulangi. Retaining, developing, and retrenching local staff aspects, such as the paradox of cheap labor, skill level of the local workforce and training, poaching of staff and job hopping. Kemudian our examples are drawn from Chinese and Indian situations, but these issues are not confined to these 2 countries. We have also looked at the impact of strategic decisions on subsidiary operations, such as plant closures and rationalization that result in employee retrenchments at the subsidiary and in the home country operations. Kemudian D. HR implications of language standardization. The decision to use a corporate language, usually English, has implications for subsidiary staff in areas such as selection for positions, attendance at company training programs, and promotion. Jadi sekali lagi, penguasaan bahasa yang memang dipakai di perusahaan ya, bahasa utama di perusahaan internasional tentunya, khususnya itu ngaruh ke promosi ya Mas dan Mbak ya. Jadi memang tidak ada salahnya menguasai bahasa asing Mas dan Mbak. Jadi belum terlambat kok kalau mau belajar bahasa asing, mau menguasai bahasa asing mulai dari sekarang ya Mas dan Mbak ya, insya Allah. Oke. Monitoring the HR practices used by international subcontractors. This discussion opens up a somewhat contentious issue for multinationals regarding fair labor and code of conduct. Multinationals are expected to monitor the work practices employed by international subcontractors. Mechanisms used to monitor adherence by these firms to multinationals' code of conduct include using internal agents such as expatriates or visits by headquarters or regional staff, external agents such as local buyers and auditors. Baik, demikian perkuliahan hari ini. Mohon maaf kalau ada hal-hal yang salah dari saya. Ya, terima kasih atas perhatian dan waktunya. Insya Allah kita akan jumpa lagi di lain kesempatan. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.